Hey friends, welcome back. So this video was highly requested. Pretty much tips and tricks on traveling to Vegas. A lot of people ask, how do we always go to Vegas for free? Well, I would say hotel and food for free. So number one, we get a lot of like little postcard invitations from our hotel at least once a month or every other month. And basically what it is like whenever there's a big event going on in Vegas, or even when there's not, I mean, they have things going on every single weekend. We get an invitation. We literally just got back and I just checked my mail yesterday and I have another invitation for September for 4 nights for free. I can't think of what else it was on there, but it was like some kind of like Let It Ride tournament that they're having. So basically, we get invitations all the time to stay there for free. So we always stay at Circus Hotel. I have been going to Vegas since I was 15 years old. My parents loved Vegas and they would take us every single year and we would always stay at Circus. Well, obviously at that age I couldn't gamble, but the hotel has changed a little bit, but pretty much the same stuff is still there from however many years that was. Gosh, 20 years ago? 24 years ago. That was so long ago. But a lot of the stuff is still there. So I pretty much know, I do know that hotel in and out. So first off, it's going to be your airline tickets. You're going to have to get there. We always, hubby and I, we always fly United. So I don't know what other airlines the prices cost, but we just stick with United. We have a United card, so we fly United. Now, this trip when we just went, we flew at different times. Normally, I like to leave in the mornings and we come back home in the mornings. But I got the flights for so cheap. They were dirt cheap that we left on a Sunday and we came back on a Thursday morning. And our flight left Vegas at 1 a.m. And we've never taken a flight like that before, but with the way that the prices were, I could not pass it up. And if I would have left in the morning, it would have been like $30 or $40 more per person, and it just wasn't worth it. So just always check. If you don't care what airline you fly, then you can probably get tickets for extremely cheap. But for us, and we also didn't go on the weekend. Usually we go to Vegas and it's always the weekend. We usually go from like a Thursday to a Monday. But this time we went from a Sunday. It was just a really quick trip. We usually go from Thursday to Monday or Tuesday. But this time we got there Sunday evening and we left Thursday morning. Wednesday night / Thursday morning. We left for our hotel for the airport Wednesday night. So we got the flights for dirt cheap. All right, so I always gamble and play roulette. I love playing roulette, and hubby usually plays poker, but he plays at a different casino. Well, at any hotel that you go to, they're going to have a player's card. It's going to be something that you get from VIP services, or at Circus, they call it the Players Club. So what it is, it's just like a little card, and if you lose it in between the time that you come home, you can, whenever you go back to the hotel, you can always get a replacement card and they are for free. So you get a player's card and every time you sit down to play, whether it's the casino or the tables, you give the dealer your card and they give it to the pit boss and they write your name down and they track how long you are actually sitting at the table and playing. And so however long that you are playing and how much you're betting, which I guess the cameras kind of watch your betting, but it's pretty much the longer you sit there. So play slow, or if you are winning, bet big and play big. They will track how long you are playing, and eventually, after a few hours, you are earning comps. So our comps, when we arrived in Vegas, and I called prior to getting there, I had $200 in free meals, and they based that off of me playing, and they know I'm going to play so much money. I had $200 in free meals. I had $125 in promo chips. I'll explain what those are in a second. And then I had the 3 free nights. Now, hubby's card was... Now, on my card, I don't have to pay the resort fee or anything. When I got there, I didn't even have to leave a credit card for anything. I didn't need to leave for incidentals, nothing. It was straight check in and go to your room. Now, on hubby's card, he had 2 free nights, and I think he only had $25 worth of promo chips. Now, on his card, he did have to pay the resort fee, and that's because he doesn't play as much as me at the same hotel. They don't have poker at Circus, so he goes to another hotel to play poker because he enjoys playing poker. So, we really don't gamble together when we are there. So, with his card, so we did end up paying $30 for the resort fee for him, because what we did was we extended our hotel one night. So we stayed Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. So even though, and I would have had to check out Wednesday, but since our plane wasn't leaving until 11 o'clock at night, I didn't want to check out of my room and leave my bags with the bell desk, which we could have did that. So what I did was I used his, his comps to extend our stay by 1 day. And so they were like, oh, on his you have to leave a credit card because he actually doesn't have any his are where you have to pay the $30 resort fee. And I was like, oh, that's fine, no problem. So we ended up paying $30, but $30 in the suite, and I mean, that's nothing. And especially if you win money, then you're really not losing. So that is how we get our rooms for free. And so again, we ended up getting, I had $125 in promo chips and he had $25 in promo chips. So what promo chips are is they're basically giving you these chips to play. You can only play them at the tables. And like, if you have to bet them, if you bet and you win, then what they do is they take the promo chips and they give you the actual money chips that you can play with. So if you lose those promo chips, it's no big deal. But if you win with the promo chips, then now you just won and you can play with your winning money. So that is the good thing about those promo chips. So if you lose them, no big deal. And if you win, then you are already winning. So that is another thing, is that you get the promo chips. Now also, whenever we fly into Vegas, now in the past when we would fly to Vegas, we would go a lot because our oldest that plays basketball would play in the AAU tournaments, and every year it always fell on my husband's birthday. The AAU tournaments are always the last week of July, or the second to the last week, and we would rent a car because we would be driving all around to go to all of his basketball games during this tournament. Now we don't rent a car at all because you can take the bus anywhere. Even when we land in Vegas, we take the shuttle. You could call it Uber if you wanted to. I had never ridden in an Uber before Vegas. When I went to Vegas this time, it was our first time riding in an Uber, and let me tell you, it was a blast. Not because of the Uber ride, but because of our driver, and it was just so much fun. So when you land in Vegas, you can take a shuttle to your airport, and you can pay for round trip, meaning I think it was $15. I think it was $15. And I don't think it was it per person? I can't remember. I think it was $30 for both of us. I honestly don't remember. But you pay round trip, and so what the shuttle bus does is it takes you to your hotel, and then you book your return to get back to the airport. You book that 24 hours in advance. So if you're flying in on a Monday and you're leaving on that Thursday, well then Wednesday you need to set it up to where you need the shuttle to pick you back up to drop you off back at the hotel. And for some reason, if you don't call like 24 hours, just make sure you call at least 3 or 4 hours in advance so that they can get you on the schedule to pick you up at your hotel. And definitely give yourself at least an hour from your hotel to the airport. Not because it takes that long, but because they may be picking up other people from different hotels. So if you have a 11 o'clock flight, you want to be picked up by the shuttle bus at least at 8 a.m. because you don't know if that shuttle bus has to pick up other people down the entire strip. So you may not get to the hotel at 9, and Vegas TSA is absolutely insane. So give yourself enough time to actually get there and get to your gates and things like that. So getting to your hotel and from your hotel, it's so much cheaper than a taxi. A taxi is so expensive, and now you can definitely do Uber, so Uber is always an option as well. So another thing with Uber is that I paid with PayPal with Uber, and I didn't know you could do that. So it was like so convenient for us in Vegas when we took the Uber. All right, so now that you're at your hotel and you got your promo chips, another thing that we had was food comps. So we were comped our food, which was $200, meaning there is a list of places in the hotel that we could eat at, and we wouldn't have to pay for it. We just we just give our player's card and they charge it to our room, but the comps in your room will go together. And so if you have $50 in comps and your food was $30, even though you're charging it to your room, your comps are going to wipe it out, so you're not going to have anything owed on your bill. So they have buffets in every single hotel. We never eat the buffet because the buffets are so expensive. They're probably like $15 or $20 per person. And if you're not going to eat $15 to $20 per food, definitely don't waste the money. There's so many other options. Next to Circus, there's a McDonald's right next to it. It's always busy, but it's right next to it. So if you weren't starving or you needed like a little snack and you just wanted a burger, you could definitely do that. And another thing that we did, because Denny's is across the street, we went, number one, we always usually go there for breakfast. I'm an early bird, hubby sleeps in, so usually by the time he gets up, we'll just go to Denny's for breakfast. So Denny's for breakfast is just the same price as you're going to pay when you're at home. It's not any more expensive on the strip. Not that I don't really go to Denny's when I'm at home, but it was his birthday, and I didn't realize till that morning when we woke up. I was like, hey, we're gonna go to Denny's, and he was like, yeah, that's cool. I was like, wait, it's your birthday, you're gonna get a free Grand Slam. And I asked them, do they participate in that since it was a strip, and they said yes. So that was even perfect. So it was his actual birthday, so his breakfast was free, and I think we actually shared it. I think we probably spent $6, and then we tipped our waiter maybe like $10. So we did Denny's for breakfast, and then we'll usually not really eat lunch because we kind of eat like a late breakfast, and then we'll do like the steakhouse for dinner. Now the steakhouse is located inside the Circus Hotel, and I don't know where everybody lives, but if you live in Texas and you've been to Vic and Anthony's, or I would say in Houston, if you've been to Vic and Anthony's Steakhouse, or if you've been to Perry's, in my opinion, and we all know that Perry's is really good, and Vic and Anthony's, I've been to both. I think the steakhouse is like hands down above Perry's. I'm just going to put it there. Yeah. The steakhouse is the #1 steakhouse in Nevada. It's been in magazines, and a lot of people don't really know about it because it's inside of a kiddie hotel. But a lot of locals that live in Vegas, they go there for dinner. They go there for big anniversaries or birthdays because it's such a good restaurant. You will have to make a reservation. So if you do plan on going there, I would highly recommend eating at the steakhouse. You don't have to dress up. I mean, we've been there, and I wore a t-shirt and a tank top and shorts. You definitely don't have to dress up. It's a really like intimate atmosphere in there, but again, you don't have to dress up. And another thing too is that when you check into your hotel, we get like this little booklet, like when you get to the Players Club, and inside the little booklet, there's all kinds of coupons, and one coupon that's in there is for the steakhouse, and you get a free bottle of champagne, a whole bottle. This time we didn't take advantage of it, but the last times we've taken advantage of getting our free bottle of champagne, and we've drank it at the restaurant, and probably got drunk drinking that whole bottle of champagne. But you also get that. There's just so many types of coupons in that little booklet. So I would definitely recommend that restaurant. And I would also, if you guys are not big eaters, don't waste money on the buffets because you're just basically wasting your comps when you can go have a really nice, expensive dinner at the steakhouse. And for us, this was the first time that we've ever done this. We actually split a meal because when we landed, we had reservations for that night, Sunday night and Monday night, because Monday was hubby's birthday. So Sunday night, we had a reservation, and Monday night. But we split the meal both nights because we weren't starving. And if you guys saw that video and you saw the portions of our food, that's how much food it was. And it was perfect for me because I don't eat big meals. I eat constantly throughout the day. So the steak portion was smaller, but it was perfect for me and for him as well. And so we split it, and it was plenty of food. And we normally have never done that, but I just didn't want to waste, again, I didn't want to waste $60 in comps if I knew I wasn't going to eat $60 in food. And so they totally let us split our meal, and it was fine. And another thing with the comps is you can't tip your waiters with your comps. So we do tip them in cash. So we always tip our waiter $20 to $25. Somewhere around that range, but it's never less than 20. And so that's basically what we spend on our meal, is basically the tip money. So highly would recommend that. Another thing we never do is we don't rent a car other than when we used to do basketball. We ride the bus, and the bus is called the Deuce. So if you guys want to go to like downtown Vegas, we've definitely went to downtown Vegas before. They have like the zip lining and all of that. The Deuce will take you to downtown Vegas. But if you're staying on the Strip and you're just going to ride the Strip, you're just going to be on the Strip, you definitely cannot walk the Strip in the summer at Vegas. I don't even think you can really do it in the winter because it is a long walk from one end to the other. And you will definitely be trapped in certain spots where you can't catch the bus. So you have to watch like the bus stops and watch where you get off, and make sure that you're not walking so far that there's no bus to catch, because you want to be able to catch the bus so you don't have to walk so far. So the Deuce, that's the bus. It's I want to say it was $24 for a 3-day pass. And so what you do is you just basically like swipe your bus pass, and then you get on, and the Deuce runs 24 hours nonstop. So you ride the bus all day long. So we stay at Circus, which is on the other end of the Strip. And then down the other part of the Strip is where you're going to be your busy section, your Caesars, your Bellagio, Paris, all of that stuff down there. I personally don't like staying at that particular part of the Strip. It's so busy right there, and of course, I love Vegas, but I just don't like to stay in the middle of the Strip. I prefer to be on the end where we are for Circus, because it's just like, it's not as crowded right there. Now, the hotel is crowded because you're going to have a lot of kids there, but as far as like the busy sections, it's not that whatsoever. And then, like I said, Denny's is right across the street. There's a Ross. I've been to Ross to shop there. McDonald's is right there. Just everything for me is perfect right there. But if you're a person and you want to go stay at Caesar's Palace, by all means, and you want that whole experience, go right ahead. I just personally, I don't like that. I don't need to spend $120 on a hotel room just to say I'm staying at the Bellagio or Caesars, because if you've never been to Vegas, let me tell you, when you do go, you're definitely not going to be in your hotel long. You're going to be there to sleep, and when you wake up, you're going to pretty much be gone the entire day, and that's going to be out sightseeing or whatever you may be doing, and then you're going to go gamble and then out to eat. So I just don't see the point in spending $200 or whatever the cost is on a hotel room just to say that I stayed at this hotel. No, I can go walk and visit this hotel and walk in there and shop and whatever. But yeah, so that's where we stay. Another thing that we did too, I didn't vlog it. I guess maybe we didn't pull out the camera or we didn't take it, but we went to this soul food restaurant. We've been there before. It's called M&M Soul Food. It's so good, M&M. It's really, really good. I would highly recommend that. I think it was like $40 for the both of us, but if you like soul food, I would highly recommend it. They serve Kool-Aid. They serve cornbread, they look like little pancakes, but they're cornbread. And they have like fish and grits, chicken and waffles, like catfish, collard greens. Anything that's soul food. And the people that work there are so nice. When we went this past time, I seen the waitress that waited on us last time, and they are just so friendly. And we had Toni as a waitress, same name, so shout out to Toni. Everybody there is just so friendly, very friendly atmosphere. So I would highly recommend that restaurant. Another thing that we did was we went to the Eddie Griffin show, which he's hosting a show at the Rio, and that was worth it. It was $50 per person. So I think pretty much inside every hotel you can pay for shows, but inside Circus, kind of like where you check in, they have like a ticket area where you can go pay for shows. So right when we got to our hotel, we checked in and hubby was like, oh wait, I want to get a show. He usually researches what he wants to do before we get there, because every time we go to Vegas, it's his birthday. So he wanted to go to this show. So we went, and when I tell you it was worth every bit of the $100 and something, because it was $50 per person, it was worth it. He was hilarious, and I'm so glad I went. And he was even sick. He was so sick, and he still performed. He could have canceled the show, but he literally like had a spit cup. He was like, I'm so sorry, I got a shot this morning, but I didn't want to cancel. And he had like a spit cup, and it was like, I felt bad for him. He was sick, but he did not let that stop him. He didn't cut the show short. It was just a great show. So definitely, if you're going to Vegas soon, I would highly recommend Eddie Griffin's show. It was so funny. So we paid for the tickets at our hotel, and we had to go pick them up at another location. So we paid for them there, but then we had to go somewhere else. It's like at the ticket box, and it's down the strip, and it's at this place called The Link, and they have like a little box office. So that's where you go to actually pick up your tickets. And so I had never, as many times as we have been to Vegas, I had never been in that whole area where The Link is. And that was also in the, I think we put it in the video, that whole area. So we went to go pick the tickets up from there, and then we just went to the show. Now, you will have to take a taxi or an Uber to get to the Rio, because it's not on the strip. You can ride the bus. We attempted, but we had no clue, because we had never been to the Rio, that it was so many connecting buses. So it was so funny. We ended up taking a taxi and getting there. We had tickets on Monday, but the tickets, we got there so late, they allowed us to change the tickets to the following day, which was that Tuesday. So we ended up taking an Uber, so which was amazing. Shout out to John, if you ever see this, the absolute best Uber driver on earth. Like, it was so awesome. So it was our first time in an Uber. I didn't even know how to work it. I had to ask someone, can you please show me how to work Uber? I had no clue what I was doing. I didn't understand it, but I figured it out, and now I'm like an Uber pro. So definitely, if you plan on like attending the show, I would highly recommend taking an Uber or a taxi, but Uber is cheaper. And then again, you can pay with PayPal. So another thing, what can I tell you? So you got to get your player's card no matter where you stay. If you, like I said, if you want to go to downtown Vegas, the Deuce, which is the bus, the Deuce will take you to downtown Vegas. And what we always do is like our last day there, let's see here. We got off the bus. The last time we got off the bus was like at 5 o'clock, and we knew we weren't going to go back down the bus. So what we did is we gave our bus passes to someone else, because you're not going to use them. So we just asked somebody, hey, you want these passes? They expire at like 8:30 tonight. You can just have our bus passes. And they were like, oh, thank you so much. So you basically give someone a free ride, because you're not going to use it. You're going to throw it away. So you might as well give them away. The Deuce will also take you to the airport, but I would not recommend riding the regular bus to the airport. You do have to catch a connecting bus. But if that's all you have to pay for and you want to ride the Deuce, then take it. But give yourself at least 2 hours to get there, just because of all the stops and then the connecting bus. But again, I would recommend the Deuce going up and down the strip. It will also take you to downtown Vegas. I would not eat at buffets unless you were just a person that can eat $30 worth of food right then and there, and then you're not going to be hungry for a while. So I would just kind of like do cheap meals. There's also, I know in Vegas there's In-N-Out Burger. We've been before, but it's not on the strip. I know a lot of people want to go there, so you would have to rent a car to do that. And another reason we don't rent a car is because you can rent a car to drive to your hotel, but where else are you going to drive to? If you just plan on being on the strip, even if you're going to downtown Vegas, it's just crazy trying to get a parking spot. And you definitely don't want to drive from one hotel to the next. If you're staying at Caesars and you want to go to the MGM. You don't want to drive to the MGM. You just want, it's going to be too much trouble getting out of your hotel, out of the parking garage, and then driving to the MGM, you know, just to go see inside the MGM. And I would definitely like recommend going to all of these hotels, but I just wouldn't rent a car to do it because it's just too much of a hassle with the parking. But if you are a person that wants to go there and explore and drive and go to Hoover Dam and things like that, then definitely rent a car. But if you just want to go and stay on the strip, don't rent a car. So I think that's pretty much it. And then if you do plan on going often, you know, I would stay at the same hotel every time, because the more you stay and the more you play at that particular casino, then you're going to start getting these comps. I will tell you guys, a lot of people ask me this. I've been before and I've lost a lot. But at the same time, I had so much fun, and I had a bubble, sorry. I had so much fun, and if I got comped everything else, if I got comped my food and my hotel was room, then I don't mind losing the money. So you're not going to win every time. But sometimes I've went and I've won a lot of money to where it paid for our entire trip, our flight, everything. So it just depends on what you want to do and what you want to pay for. So I think that's pretty much all the tips that I can give you for traveling to Vegas. If you have any more questions, leave them down below. So thank you so much for watching. I love you to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video.